Tuesday, Tuesday, 11th of February. I better check that's 11th. I don't think it's 11th. That's not true. Tuesday, the 7th of February, at 11:20 a.m. And the reason why I'm doing this video is to show you this black stuff on my face. This is this amazing product called Propolis. Propolis. It's made from honeys and is one of the most powerful antibiotics, Propolis. Propolis liquid super strength formula. This will kill any virus. You can digest it and you can put it on wounds. It's dirty and also it's sticky, and also if anything touched this it would get stained. It's very and it's impossible to get off clothes, so when you put it on, be very careful. But what this does, I've got a rash and you can't see it, but I've got, my face is just swollen up with these blisters, and they're fucking painful. So I would say it's possibly shingles, but what it is, it's really, really painful. So my whole face is puffed out into these blisters. You might be able to see them a little bit. So they're actually sticking out, okay? My face has actually got these really painful blisters all over it, like just it's a rash. It's and coming up everywhere. So my blood's obviously quite toxic out. Obviously, I'm using apple cider vinegar. That's the other thing to use. Okay, I'll explain to you why I'm doing this video in a minute. I may or may not. Oh, there in that light you can see that one. That one's fucking full on. Now what you have to realise is that's in my bloodstream and in my nervous system, so it's really excruciating. So that's why I'm using the Propolis, because Propolis, I need to kill this, whatever it is. I need to kill it really fast. Apple cider vinegar, I have every day with mother. It's got to have the mother. See that bit down the bottom? That's the enzymes. That you won't get cancer. Apple cider vinegar with mother is one of the most powerful healing things you could ever use. Propolis, you can do it at night, which I did last night as well, but I thought, no, I'm going to put more on. And also, by the way, when you try to wash it off, it's quite waxy. So you're best off using a warm cloth. Now, why am I doing a video looking like this? Because people don't really show themselves when they look ugly. They don't want to look ugly to people. And why is that? Why don't people want to show all of who they really are? What is it that they feel is going to happen if they show themselves when they... And so this word ugly that I'm using right now, I'm talking about physically, when we physically don't look so good. So, yeah, I'm not talking about ugly hearts here, okay? What I'm trying to talk about right now is when we physically don't look our best. Like, so, and a lot of people, when they don't look their best, they usually, sometimes people, like, they got pimples, they get a pimple and they don't want to go out in public, right? So, I mean, be honest. How many of you, if you've got a big pimple on your face, actually want to hide, or if you've got a cold sore? If it's usually something on the face. But even when our hands look yucky, when we've got not nice hands, we've got rash all over our hands or something, or... anyways, the point of this video is to say to you guys, when we're run down like this, we don't need to hide from anyone or anything. Just because we're run down or not feeling well doesn't make, like, you know what I did today? It's 11 o'clock, okay? I drove my builder friend down to Perth yesterday. That's an hour's drive. I was so run down, so tired, I had to have a sleep on his couch. And then I went to have dinner with a friend of mine who lived 20 minutes from his house. She lives down in Perth. So I went to spend some time with her, which was really lucky because about 2 years ago I gave my friend Brad Desi's number, my friend Desi Brad's number, because for him to do reno work at her house, right? And so they actually had each other's numbers from about, I think, 2.5 or 3 years ago. And so then what actually happened was because I was there for dinner, you see, and dinner wasn't quite ready yet. And then what actually happened, I'll just prop up this pillow. Then what actually happened was prop up this phone, sorry. I might just do this video laying down rather than just walking around. So I'm at her house, and her youngest son, I think he's 18 now, he was making dinner, and we're out the front, we're talking about heaps of stuff, and my friend Brad sends my friend Desi a message going, Dina has left her phone at my house. And I was so tired. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to drive an hour to get home. And I've also had to borrow money from, I'm paying him back in a week, but I had to borrow money from Brad for the petrol to drive him down to the city. The only reason I was driving him is because his van needs to be fixed. His van's getting fixed today. So after today, he'll be able to use his own van, and he'll come up to Northern and back in his own van, which is better because he can lock his vehicles in his van, whereas I've got a ute with a tarp on the back, so the tools are never secure in the ute, not really. Anyways, which means we take them out of his van, put them in the storeroom, and shut the door because he doesn't want the animals going in there, and then we have to carry them back out to the ute. But when the jobs are finished, but when he's got the van, he just leaves it all in the van and he takes out what he needs, so it's not all this double handling. So yeah, van's getting fixed out, which is fantastic. Then after today, he'll be using his own, coming up and down from Perth to Northern in his own van, and then he charges me for petrol, which is fine. But yesterday I had to drive him down, so I drive him down and I come home and I had to borrow petrol money to get down there and back. And I just said to Desi, I don't have the actual petrol money to go back to his house, which was 20 minutes away from Desi's, to get my phone. I'll have to come back and get it, I don't know, in a few days or something. I've got to try and work out what's the best day, what's the best time now when I've got your phone, because once I go home, I won't be able to ring him, right? And she goes, no, I'll drive you. But she was so tired, right? She was exhausted. I was like, oh, anyway, she said, no, I'm going to drive you. I don't want you going home without a phone. I went, okay, fine. So after dinner, we went and drove to my friend Brad's house. And it was really fun, actually, being with my friend in the car. Just like two girls in the car driving on a full moon night. It was fun. She actually enjoyed it. And then I drove home, and I went to sleep straight away. My animals were actually really good. I was supposed to be home by 6 p.m. I didn't get home until, I think it was nearly 11. I think it was nearly 11 o'clock, 10:30. Anyways, had a good sleep. Had quite full-on bizarre dreams, like really bizarre dreams. Had to think about them a lot this morning. But when I woke up this morning, I was like, I just feel like resting. So I did crossword puzzles. Watched a few articles on narcissism again, learning all about narcissism, but I could feel my body was really run down. I could feel so it wasn't, my face still felt yucky, and then when I actually looked in the mirror, I could actually see there was all these blisters, so I could feel that it was all hot and painful and stuff. But I thought, I don't know, because I put all this stuff on yesterday, because yesterday there was these little bumps happening around, there was this rash, and it was sort of a bit itchy, painful. But today I was like fucking painful, no itchiness about it at all. And blisters. I'm like, fuck, this is getting really bad. And I was like, well, what am I going to do with today? I'm obviously, and I've got sores in my head as well. I thought, whoa, this is serious. This is blood. Oh, I was looking around at all the things I need to be doing. So that's why I thought, no, I'll just do my crossword puzzles for a while, and that was fun. And then I was like getting up, and I had my iron tablets and my apple cider vinegar, and I thought, okay, now what am I going to do? And I thought, you know what, I feel like I might do a video. I may or may not post this, but if I do, it's about, obviously I'm not going to go out and about the town with this propolis on my face. I'd wipe it down with warm water because it is that dirty. And to do a video wearing it, like, why? Why am I doing it? Well, one, I want to show you I want to show you how to actually look after serious things, like the healthy way of looking after serious things. Because seriously, you can have the most horrendous ailments and issues and things like colloidal silver, apple cider vinegar, propolis, arnica, tea tree oil, like, yeah. It's incredible what can heal with natural products. So that was one part of it. And two, I just felt like, 'cause it's my YouTube channel and it's about vulnerability. So I thought, yeah, well, I wouldn't walk around the street like this, okay? But on my YouTube channel, yeah, okay, I'll do a video. And I guess I want to talk about the process of when our body is freaking out like this, and we've got so much to do. Like, as you can see, my builder friend and I did a lot of work this weekend just gone. And I've got to now clean up. Like, well, not now clean up. Like, I'm not complaining, by the way. I'll just show you something. So, what we've got done, so exciting. I'll show you we got the library door put on. I've done the rest of the painting of my walls, and then did touch-ups where I could still see. I still needed to do some on that now. There's going to be slightly sanded, the next coat of paint on, and then the third coat, and then the library's finished as far as the walls are concerned. But obviously I've still got to do the cornices, and I've still got to do the window frames. So this library door is just beautiful. So that's now up. We did so much. I'm going to forget stuff. I know I'm going to forget stuff. I used his drum vacuum cleaner to vacuum the floor because that was absolutely filthy with plaster and dog hair and sand and so that's done. But we got my bookshelf connected to the wall like I said I would. This wall has been completely plastered and sanded back and completely ready to be painted. I've taken that overhead kitchenette down, which was just jutting out to about here. Can you see the window? Anyway, basically you'd be doing the dishes. Now look at all my dishes. That's like about 5 or 6 days worth of dishes. It's fucking full on. So obviously I'm going to do dishes today. Okay, I'm doing dishes today. But yeah, this has come down. And that was just jutting out to almost to the end of this, just a bit past the taps. And so when you leant in to do the dishes, you'd hit your head on it, and you couldn't open this window. So that's been taken down, so I can sand that, scrape that out, sand it back, and then when I join all the plaster up to around here, then that can all be painted. Put this shelf up here. So now I can actually store my oils and my spices and everything. It's just going to be amazing. That's looking really good. Obviously that's going to be painted. You can see there's Alvin resting. You can see I've got all my kitchen stuff out here now. Well, not all of it, but some of it. Hey Alvin. And I've got to deal with my garden. Like these plants get really hot here. And these plants over here get really hot because this ceiling needs to be insulated, and it's like even right now I can feel the temperature on top of my head. This area becomes a bit like a microwave, so I have to water this down every second day to make, like, obviously I water the soil, but I actually have to wet everything, the leaves down, so they don't fry, even though they're undercover and not in the sun. So we put my beautiful mirror up, which I love. I love this mirror so much. And now that that's up, it's like, home, yeah. And the reason why I can't go, it's home, with that full excitement is because I actually have hardly any energy. But that mirror, I'm now home. My home is happening. It's so exciting. I was plastering the ceiling and sanding the ceiling where we put the bearer up. And that's hard work, by the way. So that's part of the reason why I'm really run down. A lot of plastering. I've got my billboard up, which means now I can start getting action when, putting things up to remind me of when things are happening and this, rah. Also, I'm going to forget so much. 'Cause I did a lot of plastering, a lot of painting. My friend Brad, with his beautiful, wonderful work, filled in that gap that was from the jar, from when the wall used to be across here. Remember? Can you see it? Yeah. So, you've seen all this before, I know. So when we took that wall out, the other side of the door here, there was a big gap there. He had to jut it out, build it up, and then put this in. Got the doorknob on the door, on the bathroom door, which is fantastic. We did a heap of other stuff as well, but But more so what we did, I've got heaps of retic issues at the moment. I've got, look at this. They've killed another fucking pot. Look at this. This is what I come out to. Every time I come out, you know, you're not going to believe it, but the amount of times when I come out, I don't know what the bloody hell I'm going to find, hey. You know what that is? That's from one of the plants I got from, you know what they've fucking done? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they've killed one of my plants that I got from the other day. I got some plants from the market. And 2 currajongs. They've got the currajong. Now they're 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, no. They've gone and got a currajong. This currajong, I've got these trees to put in the ground. The other currajong, they've gone and decimated it. And they've ripped up my... This is actually what I hate about having dogs. Yep. Oh, here's the little baby. Look what I found. Look what I found. Found the little currajong. They chewed the bottom off though. They chewed the roots off. But this little currajong survives. It's a miracle. I can't stand their destruction, hey. That's actually because when I left yesterday to take Brad down to Perth, they just got to be in the car all that time, and I was going to help him do stuff at his house, which I did. I had to sleep for an hour and a half, and then I was supposed to help him. Yeah, so I've got a lot of gardening to do out here. You know, and all this, my fence. I'm not going to worry about that today. But it is really hot today. I'm just walking around to see what they've done with everything. This is my plastering tool they've grabbed. I've got these. Oh, fucking hell. I knew they were... See, look at this. I had this intuitive feeling that they were digging in here. I don't know why. I was just in bed this morning and I went, I've got to get out to my tub plants. Look at that. Those roots have been exposed to the air. Anyways, thank the Lord I decided to come here. I haven't even had my morning coffee yet. So what I'm going to do with these tube plants, tell you what, trying to fucking have a garden with fucking animals. See, another pot they've dug up. Another beautiful plant one. I'm not kidding you guys. Trying to have a garden with fucking animals, it's fucking impossible. I had 2 rosemaries over here. One's gone missing. They've obviously dug one up. This is why I need to put that fence up, so that when I'm not here, they don't have access to the garden. They don't deserve access to this garden when I'm not here, hey. They can actually hang out in the garden when I'm here, and I can actually supervise them. Oh, this breaks my heart. And I'm actually not well at the moment, okay? I'm trying so hard to, look what I'm doing. I'm just, all my little tub plants, which I've got the other day because they're cheap, but they're also very vulnerable. They've dug them out a few times. Oh, I'll do that with 2 hands. They're little buggers, hey, those animals of mine, their destruction. It really upsets me. I'm glad I got to sort of experience that with you witnessing it, because, yeah, that breaks my heart. But I'll tell you one thing I'm grateful for. See how I haven't had a chance to cover up the retic wiring yet? They haven't destroyed that, okay? They haven't actually ripped up any of my retic yet. Oh, they have ripped up retic. They ripped up one set of retic, which was over here. You can see it here. They ripped up this retic here when they dug that really big hole. I'll fix that up later. But yeah, yep. Yep, little babies, getting little babies in the ground, trying to keep those babies safe and happy is fucking difficult, man. With these dogs. You know, they're both pups. But anyways, there you go. That's life, hey? But they haven't been digging these up, which is nice. Like, they're not destroying all of my garden. They're not deliberately trying to destroy things. You know, they are young. I mean, that's fucking insane. Look at that horrible scene. That's why I'm trying to keep this house nice. Trying to keep it clean. I think I just found the road. Trying to keep this house clean is like really, really, really difficult. Really difficult. Anyways, yep, I'm tired and I've got toys. Don't look. I've got heaps of toys, okay? But they just don't fucking play with them unless I'm playing with them. Even though I've got 2 dogs, they still expect me to entertain them. They need a lot of attention, eh? A lot of work having animals. Oh, and here's another thing. This is it. I've got a little bit of food for them there, down those bowls, okay? This is it for the next 5 days, guys. This is the only dog food I have left for the next 4 days. But I have chicken frames. I have rice. So, you know, and I'll take out 2 chicken frames right now to defrost for them. Yeah, I had someone lend me some money, you see, to feed the dogs. So I bought the chicken frames, some chicken mince, and a few other things. And the kiblets, I was just, you know, hoping the kiblets, if I just spread it out a bit, that it might last. But they both eat quite a lot, you know. They're both quite like, he's like, he's expecting this really big breakfast, but I can only give him a small one today, because to get them through the next 4 days, I can only feed them a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of food and they'll have nothing for 2 days. But, and maybe that's part of why I've got the rash as well. Subconsciously, there's a part of me that's freaking out that now it's really hit home. It's really hit home. Like, I basically, this is the reality, guys. Right now, I can't feed the dogs very easily. And, you know, I could maybe ask around to borrow some more money, but when I get my money in a few days, it's like, I already owe Brad money for petrol for yesterday. Anita money when she let me money to buy a hose when the retic wasn't working and I had to turn it off to keep everything working. The hose got a split in it, it was going everywhere. The person, Simon, who I'm paying off with the car repayments. There's this other person who I owe money to. I said, can I pay him $100 last fortnight, $100 this fortnight? So I just realised, oh my gosh, even before I get my money in 4 days, it's actually all gone. So I'm going to have to renegotiate with a couple of people and say, could they give me just a couple more weeks to start paying them back? This is a bad situation to be in. This is a very bad situation, but guess what's good? My friend Brady came up. I will be getting a loan, a Key Start loan, when I got this house a bit more organised so I can actually find things and it's not so stressful to live here and I've got a working kitchen. I'll be getting, and also when my health is a bit better, because I've had heaps of people, including everyone, Centrelink, the job providers, the therapists, all these friends saying, please do not work while you're so unwell. Please don't work just yet. Just, you know, you've got a lot going on, but I know that I must get a job really soon. And then once I get a job, and I've been there for a fair bit of time, like 3 months or something, then I can go for a Key Start loan. And with that loan, I'll be able to pay my builder friend back and get ahead on some other things. And I realised that, I was saying to my friend, he trusts me, like he knows I'm going to pay him back. And all these other people that loan me money, I know they know I'm going to pay them back as well. So, yeah, it's a bit tricky, this one of... And what is it, Tuesday? Like, technically, I could go to the stock and feed place and say to them, look, this is my situation, this is all the food I've got, this is what I'm getting paid next. Could I just get a bag of food on credit for 3 days? You know what, I'll probably say yes to that, because this is northern. See, this is the power of sharing and talking to you all. This is the power. Because I didn't even realise before I started this video that I was going to find those destroyed plants. And all I knew was that my skin is just like so painful. You can see that it's a blister. It's so painful. It's hurting so much. And I do not want to be demoralised. I do not want to go sad or self-pity. And also got to be mindful of what I take on today, because there's so much to do. I've got to make sure I stay in a place of peace and calmness and not overwhelm and not fear, you see, not go into fear. So I just shared a lot of information with you guys that it actually could bring up a lot of fear. But I actually feel like I know that God's got my back. I know everything's perfect. And I'm just going to keep being clever about the solutions, coming up with the solutions. I won't go down to stock and feed until 2 p.m. I'll give this a longer amount of time because this stuff's not cheap. I mean, it's not expensive. It's not cheap either, and I don't want to waste it. I'll leave this on for another few hours and I'll wash it off, go down to stock and feed at the same time as I take my dogs for a walk. And in the meantime, the first thing to do is pot up those plants, and then I'll do my dishes, and then what I really should do, what I think would probably make the biggest impact right now as well, the simplest thing with the biggest impact, is I can paint that wall there, because that wall doesn't need to be sanded. So I can, and then I can actually put, I can actually set it up. But that is actually, I think, I'll do it after I do the dishes, because that will just tidy up that corner, bring it all around to this corner. And maybe they'll inspire me to actually chip away at that, sand it, plaster it and then sand it, because that then means this wall can be painted. And you know what that does? See, I've got all this here, right? I can actually, this will be finished. So that's actually, and of course I'll be forcing myself to do that, because obviously my body feels quite weak and stuff. But this is what I think can push us really forward quite well. Work out what positive action, like if you're not well or you run down, what positive action, what productive chore, because I think if we should be, I like to have this ethos of doing one chore a day minimum one chore a day, regardless of how I'm feeling. So even though I've got this huge horrendous rash, which is potential shingles, and my throat's sore, my ears sore, my body's aching, I've got tinnitus, I've got a headache, I feel weak, I don't feel well, okay, I just don't feel well at all. But what I'm going to do is obviously do the dishes, deal with the plants, feed the animals, deal with the plants, do the dishes, and then paint that kitchen wall. And if that's all I do today, that is really wonderful. That's really moving forward. And then, of course, I'm also going to take the dogs for a walk, which is a spiritual time for me. I have a storm going out there, and that, but it's getting, the water's coming down a bit. It's a bit depressing, but it's okay. Or I could even go to a different spot. I could even go to a different spot today and see if I could find some more deeper water somewhere. I mean, that could be exciting, a little adventure. Do pack a little takeaway coffee and obviously water and a bowl for the animals, and actually have an adventure, because adventures are great. Adventures are a really fantastic way to live life. Have a little adventure here and have a little adventure there, and then you would keep moving forward. So that's possible. And I'm thinking about being brave either today or tomorrow and going to the stock and feed place. The women know me well there. They also know my husband's left me. A lot of people in Northern know that my husband's left me, and I think some of them also know I'm struggling. It's not it's not like a. See, sometimes someone leaves, right, and the partner left behind is like, oh, thank the Lord they're gone. And sometimes when people have relationship breakdowns, they're actually both really like they go, thank the Lord now I've got peace of mind, now I can move on, now I can, that's been draining me for years, but that's not the case with my husband and I. We're both missing each other consistently every single second that we're away from each other, but he's got a lot of work to do, to work with his family, to learn to cleave to his wife and put me first, and to really honour the love that we really have, and to work through and really empower this marriage the way it deserves to be treated, the full commitment that it deserved, that he never actually fully gave because his family didn't approve of it because of all their different issues and all of the subconscious things that need to be healed between him and his family members, which ironically includes his ex-wife. But really, the ex-wife's only there because the sister and the ex-wife are good friends, and they're constantly, colluding, and now the brother's colluding with the ex-wife even though they didn't like each other and all that sort of stuff. So the ex-wife just keeps getting brought into it because, they, for some reason, she's of the same ilk as them. They understand her. But, the thing with my husband's my separation, not only has it left me in abject financial poverty because it's very difficult for me to work and leave. You saw what the destruction they do. That's just me going downtown that's just one afternoon of me not being here. That's one afternoon of me not being here. Like, they can't be left alone at the moment. And also, she's so young. I wouldn't leave a baby at home anyways. See, when I left yesterday, I had the aircon on all day for them, plus the back door open so they could get into the cold house. I'm not set up yet to go to work and leave them home alone. They haven't got an outdoor area where they can be kept cool and not do destruction. And I've just had too much to do to make the house into a home. That's had to take precedence. Got to be able to find, make good, easy food, find my belongings, find my admin, deal with my admin, it's just like. But in faith and trust, because I've had my beautiful friend Brad, really go out of his way for quite a long time now to really help me out move forward. And I really honour that in him. Anyways, loves, the purpose of this video is just to say, be gentle with yourself if you're not feeling well. Natural products, always focus within your boundaries what you can do without pushing yourself too much. But do determine yourself to do one thing minimum, because you'll feel so much better mentally, and share. Don't hold these burdens to yourself. Share. By sharing with you guys today, I got to experience finding those plants whilst with you, and it reduced the intensity of the frustration of what more destruction that they've done. I don't feel so alone sharing with you how I'm feeling. I don't feel so alone. I feel more connected, I've got God at all times, and I've also got my YouTube family and some really good friends. Okay, and my dogs, of course, and my cat. Okay, but God mostly, and myself, of course. Love you guys. Bye.